Here.
The stream is live.
Twitch says the title is invalid.
Really? Well, maybe it's invalid. Maybe Twitch is invalid. Has it ever thought about that?
Yeah, it's not letting me do. It's saying no. It's saying I can't go to Twitch
very
today.
Nice. You guys, I am in a mood this morning. I've had a cold all weekend, so I'm on the tail end. I apologize for my voice and for the snorkeliness. There's snorkeliness happening today. Are you getting boned? Because I have been boned this morning at least once. I'm going to get boned probably 3 more times because of the cold thing that's happening all up in here. It was like started in the chest. And it's like all up in my face. So everybody get boned. Everybody get boned today with Bone Frog Coffee. If you haven't checked out Bone Frog Coffee, you should, because they're the best. They really are.
You really, really
and
should.
Also put us in your pocket. Subscribe to this podcast. Click subscribe. Put us in your pocket. Do that.
Do it. I don't think you're in a mood. I think you just don't feel good.
I just have a little bit of it. I'm like a residual cold. That's it. And when I have a cold, I get kind of bitchy. Sorry. Just get a little.
I feel like that makes for a more fun show, honestly.
Just get a little. I'm sorry. So I apologize in advance for any.
Oh my God, somebody just suggested that you take silver, which immediately made me think of that horrific documentary where the lady turned blue from taking silver.
Yes.
Do not take silver. That is a psycho thing to do.
She died from it.
Yeah, she did. And she turned actual blue beforehand.
I don't want to become a Smurf, you guys. So I'm going to pass on the silver.
Yeah, I just feel like you need to double up on the immune boost.
Right. That's what I've been doing that. And I think it's going to cut everything in half, which is fine. It's the only reason I'm like here right now is because of all the immune boosts. So it's fine. It'll be good. It's just a cold. That's it.
It's just a cold, you guys. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
As usual, there were some, I think, tips is what they call it on Locals. When like the equivalent of YouTube super stickers on Locals is tips. And we missed a couple last week. So I want to make sure that we catch them. One of them said that Coda's head is enormous.
It is. He's got an enormous head. And then he shakes and then flips everything everywhere. So.
And then the other said, my husband would say, man, this was about the man versus bear debate. And she said, my husband would say man because I would die trying to pet the bear. I would automatically be suspicious of a man. That would be me. I'd be like, oh my gosh, a fuzzy bear. Let me love you. And that would be a bad plan.
Yeah. That man versus bear thing has just become a viral sensation.
I know.
It's kind of crazy.
It has been so viral.
Uh-huh.
And then on Venmo yesterday, Mary Koval sent this and said, "Chicks, you are the cream in my coffee." Bone Frog, of course. Thank you so much for your humorous, articulate take on the events of the world. I pray every day for this wonderful country. Special shout out to my 19-year-old son, Adam, who will be in the Navy almost 1 year.
Oh my goodness. God bless our military. Indeed.
Isn't that the greatest?
Really, really neat.
So there's still something wrong with the super stickers showing up in StreamYard, but I can see that Aaron sent one saying, "Bitchy Daisy is the best show, Daisy. I hope you feel better soon."
Thank you so much.
And again, if I do miss super stickers, it's because they don't show up the way that they used to, where I was able to, the way that they are right now, we have to catch them in real time in order to see them. And if we don't, then we won't see them until the end. So apologies in advance if anybody gets missed. You know, that is never, ever, ever our intent. One of the things that we talked about last week was I think it was last week, was the fact that the CEO of hims.com, which is some site for men to get
boners. It's a site so men can get boners. Say it. It's true. I'm not lying. I mean,
no, you're not lying. You are not lying.
Right.
And if you remember, we talked about the CEO's tweet that he put out. This was a week or so ago, where he said, "Moral courage is greater than a college degree. If you're currently protesting against the genocide of the Palestinian people and for your university's divestment from Israel, keep going. It's working. There are plenty of companies and CEOs eager to hire you, regardless of university discipline." And that was disgusting, right? First of all, because there is no genocide happening of the Palestinian people, but also because, ew, why would you want a bunch of green and purple haired psychopaths to be workers in
I
your company.
feel like especially those women are not going to help those dudes get boners. They're the exact opposite of
They
what you
cannot
would
work
think.
as spokespeople.
Those dudes would be helpful in getting the boners.
Oh my God. Well, now the backlash, he's starting to feel some heat. There were a lot of people that saw that and said things like this: good luck. I plan to liquidate my position in Hims. When a CEO shows the amazingly poor judgment to post something like this, I don't trust him to act in the best interest of the company. This is a breach of your fiduciary duty to your shareholders.
Oh, dang.
Oh, dang is right. And then this was funny from Meghan McCain's husband, especially saying, if you support Israel, cancel We Are Him subscriptions immediately. You can get similar products elsewhere for cheaper anyway.
Okay, so is he using those? Is Ben using those?
I mean, maybe they have a variety of products. I don't know what they sell.
Well, they do hair products too, I think. Men that men that have hair issues. It's like for boners and hair and all sorts of and depression, also depression, I think too.
Okay. All right. So there was that.
Okay.
Let's see what else we've got. This guy, Brendan Kaminsky, said after 10 years using Hims, I have happily canceled. And he wrote in his cancellation message, your CEO supports Hamas.
I mean, he's not wrong.
No, he's not. And good on him. Here's another one. It says short Hims. Anyone chanting death to America, trying to destroy the American flag, causing chaos on college campuses should be arrested. The U.S. has become an absolute circus. And then this last one saying, I'm selling my entire Hims position at 9:30 a.m. It may not be much, but I cannot support anyone that is wrongly accusing Israel of genocide. Hims sounds more like Hamas now.
Amen to that.
Amen to that.
Yep.
So that's a thing that is happening. By the way, we mentioned Healthy Cells Immune Boost, which is great for shortening colds or preventing colds. If you got to take it regularly, but when you do get a cold, it's inevitable. We all get colds from time to time. It definitely helps nip it in the bud a lot quicker than it would. I haven't
had one not taking it in years. It's been a long time since I've had a cold. I used to get them all the time.
Well, and now another great product from Healthy Cell is this one, Calm Mood. This is to help you with your stress relief. And I would venture to guess that there are a lot of people in our audience who are experiencing some stress. Not just from like life, but like from all the stuff that's happening to our country, all the things that we talk about every day. This will help you take the edge off. This has all kinds of mood supporting ingredients like ashwagandha, L-theanine, GABA, 5-HTP, saffron, magnesium, B vitamins, vitamin D. It's got a berry lemon flavor, which is yummy. And this is fantastic. And again, this equals like a big handful of pills or capsules that you might already be taking. Don't do that. Just take a gel pack, which absorbs into your body 165% better than any of those pills or tablets can. And it tastes delicious. So this is yet one more amazing product from our friends at Healthy Cell. You can get your own at healthycell.com/ and you should. All right. As always, we like to get the campus protest hullabaloo out of the way at the beginning of the show. Right. So we're going to do that.
Let's do it.
Because it's exhausting. But also we should mention, apparently it's all the rage right now because it was released yesterday. There's a Netflix roast of Tom Brady. And it's got some mixed reviews. Overall, people really, really enjoyed it. But some of the jokes were like so mean, so mean. And I guess Kim Kardashian got totally booed. So she was one of the roasters inexplicably.
Why?
I guess they were romantically tied at some time.
She and Tom Brady were?
Yeah. And she made a dig at him about how I wasn't going to come tonight, but then I figured since we're not dating, I actually have a chance to later.
Oh my God.
Like there were some serious roast. People made fun of his divorce. People made fun of Gisele's new boyfriend. Like it was brutal roast. And then like, I forget which person did it, but there was like one of the roasters said something about Robert Kraft and like the massage thing. And Tom Brady got up onto the podium and said, don't say that shit again. Like when he said that joke. I mean, there was some hullabaloo.
Wow.
Yeah. Some stuff went down at the roast. And that's on Netflix.
God.
So check it out.
Wow. Okay. All right. And you said that people were making fun of Ben Affleck got up there and people were making fun of Ben Affleck's like Botox face.
Yeah. And I saw still pictures and I was like, I feel like he looks the exact same. I don't know. I didn't see any huge dramatic change, but I guess Twitter was exploding about Ben Affleck.
Face. Yeah. So if you guys get a chance to look at his face, I guess J-Lo has gotten hold of him and she's like, you got to put crap in your face. It's so interesting. Yeah, people. Roast. I love roasts. I love watching roasts. But if you gotta be able to,
they're fun.
Yeah. You got to be able to take a joke though.
I mean, you got to be able to take the meanest joke.
Take a beating. Yeah, that's just like, but people used to be able to do that. You know, people really can't do that anymore.
Oh
people
my God.
Soft. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyway, that happened. And then as the campus protests continue, as they do, as I think it was USC that we already talked about had to cancel their graduation, which was awful. We're likely to see that with other campuses as well. I would expect that there's going to be others that cancel, but those that aren't are getting disrupted because that's how these protesters roll. Here's an example. This was at the University of Michigan.
God, if I were a parent, I'd be so pissed.
Can you
pissed? Oh my God, so mad at this entire spectacle. And here's the thing too, is, I mean, I think most of us know this by now, but these kids are the kids that got their high school graduations canceled because of COVID. Mm-hmm. And so now this shit's happening. I would be, if I were a parent, livid. Oh my God. So livid. I'd be getting up and escorting them out of there. I mean, it's unacceptable. And then the schools are just not doing anything about it. Let them have their graduation. Let them have it.
I know. And then at Northeastern University, which I think is in Massachusetts, there was one of the graduates themselves engaged in this ridiculous protest. And then I don't know whose voice you end up hearing in the background trying to calm down and diffuse the whole situation. But somebody pleads with the crowd of protesters to just stop.
God.
Everybody, can I have your attention, please? May I ask the audience for your attention, please? We respect your passion and your opinions.
I don't.
We respect your right to voice them
in
the appropriate setting. This event honors our graduates and distinguished guests and is a celebration of their achievements. Out of respect for your community and honored guests, I ask that you let us continue with this event.
They have no respect for their community. They have no respect for their peers. These people have no respect for themselves. I'm so over these freaking nut jobs. I'm just over it.
It's vile. And then at UPenn, there was a guy, a Jewish guy who was just trying to go to a class, right? He's trying to walk freely on his own campus, which he should be able to do. And allegedly, some of the masked people that stop him in the most aggressive way, even though he's not trying to even enter their encampment, they were like shining strobe lights directly into his eyes. They were saying very, very threatening things. And man, props to him for holding his ground. I don't actually know how long this went on beyond the video itself. There was like 5 minutes, I think, of the whole video. I've cut it down significantly, but just you'll hear some of the more kind of terrifying moments. And then it turns out that some of these are allegedly faculty members at Penn that are engaging in this nonsense.
Of course. Yeah.
It's so ridiculous. And he's videotaping it. Here's his experience.
In fact, I bet, despite the private security team that you've assembled, I can really walk like wherever I want over here. And there's not much you can do to me. Well, I'm not sure what's creepier. Me, the student walking on College Hall in the beginning of the morning.
Why are you laying prone and trying to hide?
Or you guys all in balaclavas and spreading flashlights in my face doing the same thing. Last I checked, this isn't even the camp.
Hiding. I'm right here.
Yeah, I mean, your face is covered.
Don't matter.
I'm not even sure if you're a student. Are you a student, sir?
What you gonna do about it?
I don't know. But I am a student, so like...
Don't give a fuck.
I pay good money for this one. It's like a nice campus, you know?
Interesting.
Right.
God, the hate.
Coming in the camp.
No, it's not late at night. It's early in the morning.
You ain't coming in the camp. Back up.
Not in the camp.
Back up.
Your camp is on this side, man.
Back up.
Your side's on this, man. You can't do anything.
Back up.
You can't touch me.
Back up.
I'm not even sure you can stand right in front of me like that.
Yes,
it's kind of
I
annoying.
can.
Unbelievable.
All
Yeah,
right.
I can. We're not touching.
That's true.
Don't do something you're gonna regret.
Really?
True. You shouldn't threaten me like that either. It's kind of weird.
Don't do something you're gonna regret.
All right.
I think it's time for you to go.
I'm really not sure you have that jurisdiction. All right. This is all of our... Well, I'm not even sure if it's all of our campus because, like, I'm not sure which of any of you are students.
This is an occupation. It doesn't fucking matter.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God.
God, this just
fucking up
pisses
real
me
bad.
I'm
off.
doing a neutral thing right now. So I think I'm just walking around on College Green, and I'm getting harassed by men in balaclavas and women in balaclavas,
Nah, you're
scarves.
stalking, laying in the shadows. That's what you're doing. You're being a real creep.
Really?
Getting the message?
Maybe. I don't know. I walk
It's
this
his
way.
campus.
I
You ain't
know.
walking into the camp. You're not walking into the camp. Turn around. You're barking up the wrong tree, kid. Turn around. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh my God. I just keep
We're done
walking.
playing games, motherfucker. You know what's good for you. You're gonna get the fuck out of here right
Oh
now.
my
I
God.
fucking mean it. You want me to start counting?
I guess. What'll you do when you finish counting?
Oh, you want to find out? Come on.
Oh my God.
I can do this all night. This thing's got a 20-hour battery. You've been doing this. Oh yeah.
Aren't you tough?
Oh yeah. I ain't tired yet.
Are you an
Okay,
Can
so
you
we need
even?
send that to Michael Moore. Ask him how freaking peaceful that was.
Right? Oh my God. It
I
just makes
mean,
me
these
see.
people, anybody who says, "Oh, it's peaceful," they're not threatening. This is like they're posing no threat to people. Bullshit. What did we just see? All those people need to eat crow. Like, send that to him immediately, and then tell me. I want to know. I want to know what his response is to that. Give me.
He
a
gets
break.
real quiet when you call him out on his bull crap.
Yeah, it's like he never gets quiet. So.
At NYU, one of the protesters there was asked why, if they believe so strongly in their message, do they all cover their faces? And apparently, we're still in the middle of a pandemic, you guys.
NYU student?
No, I'm not.
Why are you guys wearing masks? Like, if you guys are, proud of what you're standing for, how come so many people are hiding their faces?
I think that's a good question and a different interpretation of wearing masks than I'm used to. I find that this crowd skews more like pandemic and COVID conscious. So that's the reason personally, that's why I'm wearing a mask. I get sick, and I think a lot of my friends do too.
She gets sick. That's why she's not covering her nose.
Right?
She gets sick, you guys. Right. She's COVID conscious. That's what her. She's COVID conscious.
It's just such nonsense.
It's
all
crap.
of it.
She's lying. They're lying.
Yeah.
They just want to cover their faces. They don't actually believe in what they're doing.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
And they don't know what they're even there to protest about, this is a great example of that.
People why they're protesting here today.
Because I want to see empire fall.
What empire?
From the U.S. to Israel, the empire that's propped up by capitalism.
And
Free Palestine, free Congo, free Sudan, free Haiti, free Hawaii, free Puerto Rico, liberation for all.
What? Did she say free Hawaii?
Yes.
What the hell is she talking about?
Apparently Hawaii has been occupied.
What is going on with these kids?
They're absolute morons.
Complete
They're
morons.
just morons.
Oh my God. She should go live in the Congo.
That'd be great.
She should just go there and then occupy it. Idiot.
You guys all need to occupy yourselves a bottle of this amazing olive oil from Fresh Pressed Olive Oil, and specifically chicksloveoliveoil.com. So as people who were not, and I mean not at all, connoisseurs of olive oil, that would be me and Daisy.
Not at all.
We had no idea that it was anything other than something that you cooked with. You just grabbed whatever bottle off the supermarket shelf and hoped for the best. And it just would like heat up your frying pan. And you know what I mean? Like that's,
Totally.
I did not know that there were differences in olive oil until we got samples of the olive oil from Fresh Pressed Olive Oil. And we were like blown away by the difference in taste. Blown away. Not to mention the fact that it's super healthy, and this is the freshest of the fresh olive oil that you can get anywhere. You can try it for absolutely free, a full-size bottle. You just pay $1 for shipping when you join the club at chicksloveoliveoil.com, chicksloveoliveoil.com, and then they send you some every few months to make sure that you're never running out. And then if you don't like a subscription service like that, you just cancel. I mean, there's no obligation. You're going to get to keep your free bottle forever, and you don't have to give it back just because you might cancel from the club. But the club is amazing because then you constantly have the freshest possible olive oil ever. You can get it at chicksloveoliveoil.com. Randy says segues are not needed, but I love doing segues.
She's really good at the segues. Here's another comment I want to point out. Michael Neverreal says a really interesting comment. Gen X has raised the weakest generation in existence. Luckily, the strong ones are next in the cycle. I just find that comment to be really interesting because I guess Gen X is, because I don't know. My daughter is a lot younger, so I had kids later, but I do think some of these college kids were raised to be complete wusses. They were coddled. Yeah, they were coddled like crazy. And now we're seeing the ramifications of that. But I hope that like the Gen Zers, is it Gen Zers?
No, that's like what Jackson is.
Jackson's a Gen Zer. And I don't know, what is Gwen? Gwen's a Gen Z. Is she a Gen Zer too? I guess she's with Jackson. I don't know.
I think so. Yeah. Pretty sure she is.
I do have some faith in that generation because I think they're rolling their eyes at this crap.
Our kids are for sure.
Our kids are rolling their eyes. So I do think that there is some merit to your comment. I think that the strong ones are next. They're the next. It's like it's skipped a generation because they're looking at this.
True.
I hope so too, Michael, because I think they're looking at all this going, what is wrong with this generation before us? Because they're a bunch of wusses, and they're more patriotic, I think, than the generation before. So I hope you're right, Michael.
I hope that's true, except that.
Oh, God. What are you going to say?
Well, this happened in St. Louis.
Children united! The children
united! No!
We'll never be defeated! Hey, hey, ho, ho! Zionism has got to go! Zionism has got to go!
Okay.
So,
all right, but that is all parents. That's parents are making them do that. Those kids are not doing that on their own.
Yeah.
That's not critical thinking at work there. That's brainwashing is what that is.
Yeah.
And shame on the parents for being anti-Semitic jackholes and forcing their kids to do that.
And there's great, we've seen the frat boys, right? Like we've seen the frat boys come to the rescue in a lot of these situations, and sometimes they're hilarious. So here's something that they're doing at USC. This is the counter protesters, and they've got like this constant thing blaring the following message.
Attention anti-Semites, we are not leaving. Attention anti-Semites, we are not leaving. Attention anti-Semites, we are not leaving.
Oh my God.
Attention anti-Semites, we are not leaving.
I mean, I love it. I love that.
Hope you're not trying to sleep in your encampment.
Just freaking love that. They can suck it. Yeah.
Right.
And I would hope that, I know that my kids are on that side because of parenting. Hello?
Did you deal with any protests about anything at your college?
Oh,
I don't remember seeing anything like this at KU ever.
I mean, I remember like later on, like I remember it was more when I went to Harvard. Like when I went to Harvard, because I went there for a summer, I remember walking down the street and having it was like a Muslim dude screaming at me because my skirt was too short.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And it was the first time I ever faced that. I remember walking with my boyfriend at the time, and he was screaming at me because I was wearing, you know, a certain thing. And oh my God, you need to cover up, and like literally screaming at me. And I never experienced that at University of Tennessee, you know, because at Tennessee, I never really saw a lot of protests like this, but that was back in the late 80s, early 90s. And then when I went to Harvard in 93, it was like, it was a whole new world in the Northeast. Like Ivies are different. Yeah. You know, they're very, very different. And obviously we're seeing that now. And that was an eye-opening experience for me. There were a lot of weird protests there. And obviously it's gotten worse and worse and worse.
Oh, it's as worse. It's as bad as it's ever been, I think, right now. Brenda Matum, thank you so much. Brenda says, I should be getting my olive oil today. Can't wait to try it. Thanks for all you do for us, COTR. You're going to love it. Oh my God, you're going to love it so much. Also, this happened at Alabama where, and I think, again, this was started by some frat boys. They had a very, very specific message for the protesters there.
Shower! Take a shower! Take a shower! Take a shower!
Oh my God, it's the greatest. So great.
It really is.
Because I think we said this last week. Can you imagine what it smells like there?
Oh my God. Don't wanna. Gross. Unfortunately, there are some administrators and faculty who are caving to these idiots. And so this person received an email from a Columbia professor to the class saying, I am canceling our final next Wednesday, as we simply cannot pretend that academic business can go on under the current conditions. You have all received a grade of A for the course. Please take good care of yourselves.
Oh my
Can you
God.
even?
Talk about the Harrison Bergeronification of students in America.
Right?
Oh my God, way to reward bad behavior.
I know, like the biggest reward ever.
Oh my God.
I know.
That is insane.
Yeah. And that kid that we just saw getting the strobe light treatment at Penn, I saw this tweet saying it's now been a week since the Penn administration said in no uncertain terms that the encampment must immediately disband. Since that message, students have received 0 updates from the admin, yet harassment and violence continues.
Oh my God. So you want to get an A in class? Be a complete like lunatic terrorist.
Right?
That's how you do it, kids. I mean, this is what we're teaching people.
Yeah.
What a disgrace our universities are. Absolute disgrace.
And it sucks because there are some university admins and presidents who are doing the right thing. Like, for example, if every president sent out the same message that Ben Sass did at University of Florida, we would not be dealing with all this bullshit. But he made it very clear at the University of Florida, we have repeatedly, patiently explained 2 things to protesters. We'll always defend your right to free speech and free assembly, but if you cross the line on clearly prohibited activities, you're going to be thrown off campus and suspended. In Gainesville, that means a 3-year prohibition from campus. That's serious. We said it. We mean it. We enforced it. Wish we didn't have to, but the students weighed the cost, made the decision, and will own the consequences as adults because we're a university and not a daycare.
Hell yes.
We coddle emotions. We wrestle with ideas.
I love that. We're a university, not a daycare. Oh my God. That speaks volumes. And that's
right.
We're going to give you A's for being jackholes. That is, in essence, you being a daycare.
Yeah.
Shame on them.
And I don't like having to say good things about Florida, but Ben Sass is awesome.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah, and I mean, I saw our guy Mitch Daniels over the weekend talking about this too, and I think he would have handled it in the exact same way at Purdue if he were still there. Absolutely the same way. He, by the way, he looks great. He looks exactly. He is barely aged like a day, and then the man is just God. He could have been our president.
What was he on? I need to go look at that.
He was on Fox. I can't remember what the show was, but it was one of the morning shows on Fox over the weekend. And it was so nice to see him. You know how much we loved him, you guys. He's such a gem.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah.
The best. Gretchen Whitmer tried to attend her own daughter's graduation and had this happen to her. This right here.
Genocide! How do you justify genocide? How do you justify genocide? How do you sleep at night?
Genocide. How do you justify?
What are you doing about Palestinian children?
I appreciate.
What are you doing about Palestinian students at the U of M?
I appreciate you raising your voice. And here we have a graduation meal with my daughter.
How do you? What about all of the children that are in mass graves? What about them?
Justify genocide.
Yeah, are you doing anything about it? Are you going to?
I'm
trying to these people.
I'm trying to have a graduation meal with my daughters. I'm having a casserole.
Made all this casserole.
We had casserole here at this cafe, and I just wish you'd leave me alone.
I mean, you can't reason with these lunatics. And again, like, I don't want to defend Gretchen Whitmer, but
I'm not defending her at all. I'm not. I think it's hilarious. I think it's awesome that they're harassing her of all people. And she's like, I'm trying to appease you, because this is what Joe Biden does.
Yeah.
He wants to play on both sides of the fence. You can't do that with terrorists. You can't do it. Take a stand, you know? And if they harass you at a cafe when you're trying to have a graduation like meal with your daughter, like, I'm sorry, I can't feel sorry for you. I can't, because this is what you get. FAFO. You cannot be on both sides. You can't do it. These people are weak. Take a stand. Pick a side.
Well, and speaking of weak, the president of Colombia released a video. It was well over 3 minutes, so I cut it down a bit. But I mean, it's so just syrupy.
Milk toast.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
total milk toast. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't say anything.
Nothing.
I think here's the beginning and then the very end.
These past 2 weeks have been among the most difficult in Colombia's history.
It's always
the turmoil and tension, division and disruption have impacted the entire community.
Yes.
You, our students, have paid an especially high price.
Yes.
You lost your final days in the classroom and residence halls. For those of you who are seniors, you're finishing college the way you started, online.
Sucks for you.
No matter where you stand on any issue, Colombia should be a community that feels welcoming and safe for everyone. We tried very hard to resolve the issue of the encampment through dialogue. Many people who gathered there were largely peaceful and cared deeply about the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Academic leaders talked with students for 8 days and nights. The university made a sincere and good offer, but it was not accepted. The issues that are challenging us, the Palestinian-Israeli conflict, anti-Semitism, and anti-Arab and anti-Muslim bias, have existed for a long time. And Colombia, despite being a remarkable institution, cannot solve them single-handedly. We have a lot to do, but I am committed to working at it every day and with each of you to rebuild community on our campus.
Right. Okay. Okay. Yeah. I don't believe a word that comes out of that woman's mouth.
More Ben Sass, please.
She is weak, and she needs to buy a set of balls.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just can't. It's in her. Listen, everybody. Let's just put it this way. I would not want my kid to go to Colombia. Like, Colombia is ruined because of her leadership or lack thereof.
Yeah. It's weakness. It's such a contrast to see how she and other university heads like her handle it compared to the ones that are just taking care of business, right?
Yeah.
And that's Charlie Hurt makes that point as well.
You know, the cowardice of these university administrators, and the idea that you would have at one university here in the city, 60% of the protesters were not students, and I'm like, what is the university doing that you have 60% of these clowns showing up at your university protesting stuff, and you're so cowardly that you're afraid to take a moral stance and say, this is disgusting.
Exactly.
Hamas still is holding Israeli hostages, and
Americans.
Yeah, and you can't take a stance on that and then kick these punks off of a campus, and they're not even a part of the campus. I do understand that there are probably some students who are genuinely concerned about the things that Harold points out, and it's important to talk about these things, but you've got people from outside saying hateful things. It seems like a real easy problem to solve.
Well, and over it does seem easy. Seems really easy. And like these college campuses and these administrators on these campuses, they're a microcosm for our government too. You know, we look at how weak they are, and then you can draw a comparison between them and the people who are running our country.
Yeah.
And they're also weak and they're unwilling to take a stand. And it's like, oh my God, does anybody have balls anywhere? Good
Well,
Lord.
Joe Biden has them right here.
It's right. He has chin balls.
They're right there.
The 3 that are floating around in his chin. We don't know where they came from. Some surgeon put them in sometime. But this is the thing. Everybody is weak. And this is why people are just like, we just need a leader that has a firm foundation and will stand for something. And hopefully they'd stand against terrorism. You'd think.
You would hope. But also it took Biden how long before he finally got sent out, wheeled out to like make a ridiculous, pointless 3-minute statement. Marco Rubio, very hot about that.
He gave a short speech off of note cards 7 days into this crisis. We should have heard from him from the very beginning. Look, these are students from all over the country. Think about this. The people who's not getting any coverage right now? The kids who paid $80,000 a year to go to these universities, who can't take finals, can't use the library, can't go to class, many of whom have dropped out of school. Who's fighting for them? Joe Biden should have spoken about them very early in this process. His failure to address this early on and to make very clear whose side he was on has just fed this, has just increased this. He should have been very clear and defined himself early on about this. And they're not doing anything about it as far as I can see. I mean, where are the, I want to see if they put as much resource and time into investigating this people as they've investigated other people in the last couple of years.
Exactly. Hopefully Dershowitz and friends are doing something about fighting for those people. I would hope. I hope that there are going to be so many lawsuits.
Oh, I know.
And also
there needs to be.
Side note, I wouldn't be mad if he was the VP candidate.
It's just he's from Florida, so I don't think that they're going to do that. I wouldn't be mad either.
He's on the short list. There were like 4 guys on the short list from the last time, and he's on it. So I guess he's considering him.
Maybe. It's not usually 2 people from the same state, but we'll see.
But it's
if
also
you want somebody from Florida, he needs to pick DeSantis, although he's already said no.
That's the thing there, but he was on that list of 4, and I'm like, that's interesting. Remember he used to make, this just goes to show you again, they used to fight like dogs and cats.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And now it's like he's on the short list hanging out at Mar-a-Lago. Like, it's very interesting how that works, but I wouldn't be mad about it.
Politico, unbelievably, put out an article, which I was stunned that it was Politico, but finally the rest of the media seems to be catching up with the fact that these are organized protests by the same people who organized BLM. It's all Antifa. It's all the same people, all funded by Soros organizations. And the fact that Politico is actually saying that out loud was kind of amazing. What's even more amazing is how dumb their title is.
Totally.
The fact that this says pro-Palestinian protesters are backed by a surprising source.
Anybody surprised?
Biden's biggest donors? Who's surprised?
Raise your hand. Yeah.
This is the least surprising thing that's ever happened ever.
Yeah. It's like Politico. Welcome to the party, pal.
I mean, what in the world?
Good Lord.
That was hilarious to actually,
It's
wow.
like, oh my God, we're clutching our pearls. We're so surprised by this.
Right?
Really, Politico?
Ridiculous. But I will give them credit for actually reporting on it, because most of the left-leaning media companies do not.
They're not.
They never like to say what's really happening. So I guess good for them on that. You guys, the $25 mega sale at mypillow.com/chicks still very much underway. I checked this morning. It does seem like they still have men's white slides for $9.50. So grab as many of those as you can. Father's Day is not too terribly far away. So that's an easy, just gimme right off the bat are the white slides, because less than $10. Are you serious? There's so many things too that are $25 right now. There's the 2-pack of MyPillow pillows. There are the the 6-piece towel sets. There are the 4-pack dish towels, small dog beds, $25, beach towels, $25. So really, really good sales right now. And 50% off right now on the mattress toppers, which are amazing.
Yeah.
So they've got 5-inch premium foam. They have this moisture wicking fabric cover that is zippered and removable. You can take it off and wash it. It's got non-skid backing fabric, so you're not going to slide all over the place. It's not going to get out of position on your mattress, and it's got some temperature regulating properties. They're really, 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 really nice.
We
50%
love
off
them
right now.
We love them. We have a cheap mattress and then one of the mattress toppers. It's the best.
So that's
thing
the way
ever.
to do it, man.
That's how
That
you do.
is the way.
That's how you do.
MyPillow.com/ Okay, I know I have missed some super stickers. Let me scroll and see if I can find them. Oh, I hate that this new setup doesn't let me see them, you guys. I'm so sorry because I saw them come.
I see Leah. Rolling Stone issued an article trying to downplay and discredit the Politico article.
Who did?
Leah.
Rolling Stone?
Rolling Stone. That was from Leah, and Rolling Stone issued an article trying to downplay and discredit that article. Can you believe that?
Oh my God. Well,
I mean, I'm not shocked by that either. Rolling Stone is such a hack. They're so gross. And then Kim Donaldson said Politico spelled Palestinian wrong.
Exactly.
Idiots.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm going to scroll through and see if I can see any others. Here's Teresa Raimundo. Teresa said, she kind of sickens me. Cowards and their friends are total douchebags. That was at 8:30. So I'm not exactly sure who she was talking about. Maybe that Columbia president, maybe.
Yeah. Did we get Kim Donaldson? Did we say Kim
you just said that one. That's the one you just said.
No,
right?
She sent another one at 7:30.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah. So thank you, Kim.
Philip Mooney, thank you. Philip says, remember Dems calling for harassment of Trump admins when seen in public? Karma's a bitch, huh, Gretchen? Oh, that's right. I mean, it is kind of a bitch. Like there is, this is who she supports. Like if she wants to be on the side of these people, Kim Donaldson sent a super sticker without a comment. Okay.
Right.
So I think, there's another one. Yeah, you read the one where she said Palestinian spelled wrong. Okay, I think we got everybody. If I didn't, I'm sorry, but this new system is super stupid. All right, let's move on because we need to talk about some election related stuff, and namely some polling that is not going well for Biden.
Biden seems to be struggling with key demographic groups that he would need to win and win big if he stands a chance of being reelected.
John, there is significant softness in the support for Joe Biden among core Democrats. In this poll, he's carrying black voters by 61 points. Well, that sounds like a lot, but he carried them by 84 points back in 2020. Latino voters, a very slight Biden edge in this poll, but it was a 21-point advantage in the exit polls back in 2020.
Wow.
And among younger voters, under 30, we're actually seeing Trump with a slight edge. That was a big win for Biden last time around. It's particularly stark to see that difference among voters of color. Black voters under age 50, far less likely in this poll to say they're supporting Joe Biden than older black voters.
Interesting on the Hispanic one. I mean, the under 30s I see because, I've got kids who are around that age and they're like, this economy is bullshit. So there's that. I mean, the economy is like a huge thing because they're over it and they want to be able to buy homes and afford things. Okay. So that's that right there. But the Hispanic thing, I think that he thought by letting in a bunch of illegals that, oh my God, the Hispanics, they love me, right? I can give them free stuff. But there are Hispanics that live around me that are here legally.
Yeah.
That don't like that. They're over it. They're like, wait a second, we're here legally. We don't want you letting in a bunch of illegals. Just because people are Hispanic doesn't mean that they agree with that. In fact, most of them disagree with everything that he's doing. They don't like it. They came here for a reason legally. They don't want a bunch of illegals coming in.
Right. I mean, imagine going through that process.
Yeah.
And then watching all of this shit happen. Like I can't imagine
They're over
supporting
it.
Biden.
Yeah.
Unless you are one of the illegals. And I think that's the Democrat design, right? Bring in so many who are grateful to us for just letting them come in,
right?
That we can nab their vote. I mean, that's what this is all about, right?
Yeah.
However, as you can see from that poll, and particularly with young people, Joe Biden has been pandering to them like crazy with all the student loan forgiveness, and it's clearly not moving the needle. Bill Maher had Kellyanne Conway on the show to talk about that and other things.
This stuff is, I'm so incensed about some of this stuff because, you know, when I read about the college loans,
yes.
You know, I mean, I can't, where's the stat on this? Oh, Biden administration's student debt cancellation will cost a combined $870 billion to $1.4 trillion. That's a lot of debt forgiveness. Okay, so colleges constantly raise tuition. Then the kids take out more loans. Then the government comes by and pays those loans. Okay, so my tax dollars are supporting this Jew hating?
No, you
I don't
want
think
all the
so.
tents. No, I agree with you completely. Now people are really upset. By the way, it was never fair. You can't have plumbers and pipe fitters paying for the student loans of doctors and lawyers. It's not fair. And I'm all for the government trying to help people who need it, but he did that as a political play, and everybody knows it. He's bleeding young people's support.
It hasn't worked. If you look at issues that young people care about, Gaza is like 15th out of 16th, and the only thing that comes in lower than Gaza is student loan forgiveness. So it hasn't worked as a motivator for the youth vote, you know, half of which are out there chanting Genocide Joe. So it's backfired, not just in terms of public policy, but in terms of the politics, too.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, I mean, I think that young people, they care about the economy. That's what they care about.
Yeah. Who doesn't? I mean, that's the biggest thing that's affecting all of us.
Mm-hmm. That's what, if you ask like my older kids are what, 34 and 30, they're all about the economy. That's what it's all about. I mean, I have one that's trying to escape California right now, and it's all about, can I afford, you know, my rent, my car, my mortgage? Can I get a new house? They want to be able to have kids soon. The middle one, their lives they're banking on being able to live in a situation where they can actually achieve the American dream.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids, and they do pretty well, my kids. I look at some of these other kids that aren't doing so well, and they're living with their parents, and it's like, it's sad because it used to be that you could do okay on X amount of dollars. You can't. You have to live with your parents. I mean, rent, you guys, it's
like $2,000 a month to rent just a basic apartment.
Right. It's
insane.
It is obscene. Yeah. So economy, number one issue for these kids.
Yeah, for sure. Interestingly, Michael Steele had on his panel, I think he's MSNBC, and they're talking about the fact that apparently the White House has a new strategy for Biden, which is to make sure that when he does speak, it's super quick and super short speeches, that he doesn't give any elaborate big speeches because obviously he can't handle it. So to hear them talk about that as supporters of his is kind of hilarious.
But in terms of the politics, too.
Yeah, I mean.
So as you're expanding the argument, we have news this morning from NBC News that the campaign is looking to shorten its speeches. Biden's general election strategy is less is more. The president's aides are seeking to tighten his pitch to voters with shorter, crisper speeches. To be honest with you, Quentin, I think that's a very smart idea. I think
for everyone.
I really appreciate that approach because it is a way for the president to sort of hit with clarity, stick his points and move on and not get lost and sidetracked. Give us a little bit more of the scene setting around the thinking there and trying to reimagine the campaign going forward with what you just said and this idea now of the president tighten his grip on his speeches.
Look, our campaign believes in quality over quantity.
Okay. All right, quality over quantity. That's a nice spin there, buddy. Okay, yeah, we believe that. Oh right.
My God,
it's just ridiculous. You know, back like 30 years ago, we didn't have all these pundits talking about all this crap, so they may have been able to get away with this, you know. But now it's like we know what's going on. There's social media, 24/7 news coverage. Like we can see what's happening with this president, and he is in the state of severe mental decline.
Yeah,
they cannot cover this up. You cannot put perfume on a turd. You can't. Like we know what's happening. There's no way he can handle 4 more years. You can give him shorter speeches and try to like roll him out there and give him a teleprompter and make it short and crisp. It's not going to work.
Because he'll always try to tell a tale, right? One of the lies about his life, his whole life that he's been telling these lies. Right. He always wants to throw in a little anecdote which is never true, but which he likes to repeat over and over again.
And imagine what his brain's going to be like in 2 years.
Oh my God.
He will like legit start shutting down even in those short speeches. The guy is losing his mind. And it's happened so quickly because even 4 years ago, he was sharper than he was 2 years ago. I mean, it's going to get bad. It's going to get even worse. There's no way he can handle 4 more years. It's a disaster for him.
KJP's presser on Friday opened with Mark Hamill, who is not looking well. I'm just going to say it. This is not the Luke Skywalker I remember at all.
And what is his outfit? What is that?
I don't know. I feel like that's a clip-on tie for sure.
Oh, God.
But here is how he opened up the presser.
Well, I called him Mr. President. He said, "You can call me Joe." And I said, "Can I call you Joe B1 Kenobi?"
That was his opening line.
I'm not impressed.
Yeah.
He just like, you want to be relevant. He's like, oh my gosh, I want to be relevant again. Because the only role I ever had was that role. And so I'm going to call the president and see and they asked him. And so he's there. Like, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel with this guy and you're asking him to come to a presser.
It was for May 4th. Like, it was the whole
May the 4th be with you.
That whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were like, look at how cool and hip we are. We're inviting Mark Hamill. Good
from
job.
Star Wars from 70 something. What was it? 76?
Dushelius, thank you. He says the big tent Brillo pad Steele is what is wrong with the GOP. He's like the least GOPer ever. He's as bad as Anna Navarro and whatever. What's that other chick? Jennifer Rubin.
Jennifer Rubin. Yeah.
It's such a big phony lie to get them spots on TV.
George Conway. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all nonsense. So KJP faced a tough question, and that is they've been bragging, as you know, about Biden stopping Trump's tax cuts, letting them expire without a plan on how to deal with the fact that that's going to make life harder for literally everybody. And so a reporter asked her about that and then actually pushed back on her platitude non-answer, which was kind of amazing. Check it out.
Thanks, Grant. So the president says that he wants to let the Trump tax cuts expire. If that law expires, it does raise taxes on almost every American. So does he still support that expiring without anything else in place?
So look, as you said, the president is going to is going to let the Trump tax cut expire.
Yeah, thanks.
And he was very clear, but he will not raise taxes on anyone making less than $400,000
so full of
a
crap.
year. That is part of the budget that you saw come out, and it's going to expire for the wealthy. So been very clear about that.
They can't pick and choose which part of the law sunsets. The entire law will sunset. And the tax foundation says that someone who's married, 2 kids, making $85,000 would pay $1,700 more in taxes. That's somebody under $400,000 who would.
The president has been very clear. He's going to protect working middle-class Americans making less than $400,000.
You lie.
He's been very clear on that about that. Like,
it's a lie.
Oh my God, he just called her out. Like he's like, here's some data, and she's like, no, let me be clear. But we just gave you data. I mean, wow, it's such bullcrap. You know what? In the words of Mel Brooks, F the poor. That's how they feel. That's how Joe Biden feels. He doesn't care about the middle class. He doesn't care about, like, I don't care, the lower class. I don't even know what the poor in this country. He doesn't care about any of us. He doesn't care. He'll act like he does, but his BFFs are all the rich people, all the elite. That's who he cares about. And he'll act like that's what Trump does, but it's pure projection. It always is projection and gaslighting with these people. That's who they are. He's showing us who he is. He showed us that for the past however many years. And I mean, it's just asinine when he gives her data and she's just like, we're being very clear. Yeah, you're clear. You
clearly have no plan on how to prevent tax hikes happening to anybody, especially those who make less than $400,000.
And furthermore, isn't inflation a tax?
Exactly.
Hello?
Well, and the fact that I mean, what's amazing too is that I think what they're trying to do is just give answers like she did, which are vague and non-specific and total lies. They know that they're going to let those tax hikes tax cuts expire, which will result in a tax hike. But they think that as long as they can lie until the election happens, once Joe Biden is reelected, they don't care how much people suffer, how much people hurt. Because then he's just got the term. He's already there's nothing for him to lose. The damage is already done. He doesn't need their votes again. So they don't care. And the fact that people are too stupid to understand that and will vote for him is...
Yeah, because we're already suffering. He already promised a bunch of crap to people, and we're already suffering. I mean, for the past 3.5 years, it's been hell. Yeah. So why would you even believe a word this man says? I don't understand.
And then, you guys, the people he surrounds himself with, KJP obviously among them. This is an unbelievable clip. What you are about to hear from Jared Bernstein, who is one of Biden's senior economic advisors. Okay. He is asked a very simple question. If the United States can print money, and we know that they do, then why do they borrow any money? Why do they borrow money at all if they print money? The senior economic advisor, this is his answer.
You said they print the dollar. So why does the government even borrow?
Well, again, some of this stuff gets, some of the language that some of the language and concepts are just confusing. I mean, the government definitely prints money, and it definitely lends that money, which is why the government definitely prints money, and then it lends that money by selling bonds. Is that what they do? They sell bonds. Yeah, they sell bonds, right? Since they sell bonds and people buy the bonds and lend them the money. Yeah. So a lot of times, at least to my ear with MMT, the language and the concepts can be kind of unnecessarily confusing, but there is no question that the government prints money and then it uses that money to I guess I can't really talk. I don't get it. I don't know what they're talking about. Like,
oh my God.
It's like the government clearly prints money. It does it all the time, and it clearly borrows. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this debt and deficit conversation. So I don't think there's anything confusing there.
Hi. So I was an art history major, and they just put me in this job. What?
Oh my God.
The F did I just see? What did I just see?
Oh my God.
You guys, I want to use all the words. I want to use, you have no idea how much I want to drop the F-bomb so bad right now. I don't feel well. This guy is completely inept. We've got idiots. We've got people who don't know what they're doing driving the car. And they've never driven a car before. Do you feel safe?
Yeah, sleep well, everybody. Sleep tight. Because that's who's running the country. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Ooh, Kim Donaldson says that Columbia, thank you, Kim, that Columbia just canceled their commencement. So well done,
that's
protesters.
Great. I would be suing.
Well done.
I would lawyer up, kids.
Oh my God.
Lawyer up.
Faye, that was one of Biden's chief economic advisors. So Jared Bernstein. I mean, I don't think that's his actual title, but it's senior or whatever. He's one of the top economic advisors.
It doesn't matter. He shouldn't be anywhere near an economy. That guy should be nowhere near it. Oh my God.
He's making policy though. He's driving policy and oh my God.
But listen, everybody get back to work so you can pay for his pension. Get back to work, everybody. Jeez.
Oh my gosh. Meantime, Joe Biden decided to honor Nancy Pelosi with a Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Oh my God.
And here is how that went.
Nancy Pelosi will be known forever as the greatest Speaker of the House in American history.
Okay.
He's so creepy. Just even doing this.
He's gonna smell her. He's gonna smell her neck and her hair in 2 seconds.
He will.
He's like, oh, Nancy.
Ew.
Yeah, I'm not remembering her for that at all. I don't know about you guys. It's not. And was she chewing her cud, like chewing her own mouth while she was getting that?
Yikes.
So gross.
Lastly, for this little group of videos, there's an ad that Trump put out, which is a great ad. I think he was targeting it towards Black communities, specifically in Georgia. Google has pulled it. Like, I think they pulled it from YouTube, and I don't know why, because it's a perfectly decent ad, but there's like accusations of like racism and all kinds of crazy stuff, even though it's just an ad that features a Black person talking. And so why it's not allowed on certain platforms, you got to take that up with the Google people. Here's the ad. You can see it for yourself. Hopefully this video stays up on YouTube. We'll probably get shut down over this.
Yeah,
whatever.
we probably will.
Hello, I'm with the Biden campaign.
Yeah, I voted for Biden last time.
That's fantastic.
Is it? Everything costs more. Food, gas, rent.
Okay, but Biden's helping pay rent for newcomers to America from around the world.
You mean illegal immigrants? I'm struggling to pay my bills, but Biden's paying rent for illegals? They get handouts and I'm paying for it.
But Biden can still count on your vote, right?
Things were better before Biden. I'm voting for Trump.
Make America Great Again, Inc. is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Wait, how is that racist?
I don't know.
It was, I don't understand how it was racist.
I don't know. But that is a thing that happened.
Okay. Somebody's going to have to explain that to me. I honestly am asking how that was racist. So they shut that down?
Yeah, apparently they didn't like that it was targeted towards Black communities. And so,
okay.
I
mean, that could have been a real phone call.
Totally.
Yeah.
I'm sure that phone call has actually happened
Yeah.
in some form or fashion, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, that happened. Also, people are making a big deal about Hope Hicks and her testimony. That's the reason for my name today. They're making a big deal about her testimony in the Trump trial in the Stormy Daniels case. She cried, apparently. She got very emotional towards the end of her testimony, and people they're mixed. I tried to watch a bunch of different shows about it because obviously no cameras are allowed in there. We only see drawings of her, which honestly is a shame because she's so gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond.
She also
gorgeous.
tried to leave politics. Like she left politics and then they drag her back in. You know, can you imagine like leaving for a few years and you're like living your life and then they're like, we're going to go ahead and drag you back in and then just make you do all this stuff. I think from what I've heard and just watching a lot of the coverage on this, she's a really nice person. Like she's
nice.
Yeah.
Why can't she be awful?
She's
already so gorgeous. There needs to be a flaw.
Right. I mean, well, she probably has like webbed feet or something, but there's gotta be something wrong with her, but it's not the way she looks. And apparently she's a super nice person. I mean, from all the people, all the coverage I saw, she's a very sweet lady. And I think, you know, she broke, you know, because it's like they dragged her back into this. She just wanted to be out of the limelight. She wanted to be out. She doesn't want to do this. And they're like, well, we can't have that. We're going to bring you back in, you know?
Come testify an excruciating an excruciating trial.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, so there's mixed reviews again, because she said things I think that could hurt Trump. And then she also said things that could potentially help him. So here are just some different perspectives about it.
It's very significant, Wolf, and the testimony at the very end of the direct that Hope Hicks, Donald Trump's trusted aide, so close to him, that she didn't believe his story, that Michael Cohen was doing this on his own, and that she felt that the statement by Donald Trump that it was better that this come out after the election that before was so impactful that she broke down in tears, I believe because she was throwing her former boss under the bus. I was in court for the first part of the testimony today, and she absolutely riveted that jury, even the ones who many of them have notepads, they're writing at times. They put down their writing materials and they were intently focused on her. They were listening to her. And I think this was a powerful step forward for the prosecution's case.
So there's one perspective.
Okay.
saying that it was powerful for the prosecution. Here is, and again, this next one is MSNBC, and it is a different perspective.
Her testimony, of course, was damaging for Trump, but there were little tidbits in there for the defense, including painting Michael Cohen, as you said, like a bumbling Mr. Fix-It, which was an ironic name because she said he would break things and then fix them. Calling him rogue, which I promise you will be a word we'll see again in the defense's closing. It's their central theme of their case. So Hope Hicks was the marquee witness this week, and she was a mixed bag. A lot of folks said she was devastating to Trump. I don't agree. I think there was something for each side in Hope Hicks' testimony.
So there you have it.
Yeah. Okay.
Take that.
I
do whatever with it.
Yeah, I'm with Cruella de Vil on this. I think it's all bullshit.
Well, I mean, the whole case is obviously
all of it.
bullshit.
I'm just so over all of this. It's just so dumb. It's a spectacle, and I'm so sick of the spectacles. They're just trying to keep him from campaigning, and that's obvious to anybody with half of a brain cell.
Last week, and probably the week before at this point, it seems like we've been having to cover this Kristi Noem shooting her dog in the face story like a lot more than I thought we would. But it keeps coming back, and it keeps coming back into focus, and she keeps getting asked about it. And honestly, I just think she's making it worse every time she appears on a news show about it. Now, granted, the book isn't even out yet. I think it's coming out tomorrow. And so I know she's got to keep doing PR for the book. She probably has some required, amount of marketing that she herself has to be a part of in order to sell the book. But man, it is just not going well for her.
Well, her PR team sucks.
Oh my God, they're the worst.
They're awful. They all should be fired immediately. All of them.
And I didn't realize that one of the chapters, because not only did she kill the puppy, but she also killed a goat the same day.
God.
And apparently the chapter where she talks about the goat is called "It Was a Bad Day to Be a Goat," which that makes her sound so callous. You know what I mean? So here she is on Face the Nation to talk about that part.
You put it in a part of a chapter called "Bad Day to Be a Goat." And then after you shot the dog, you, quote, realized another unpleasant job needed to be done. Walking back up to the yard, I spotted our Billy goat. You said he smelled and would chase kids, so you took him to the gravel pit and shot him twice.
Oh my God.
How do you justify that? How was the goat a threat? And I'm asking you this because it seems like you're celebrating the killing of the animals.
Not at all. This has been a story that my political opponents have tried to use against me for years. It's well known in South Dakota, and it has been to other people. And I want the truth to be out there and to understand that these animals were attacking my children, that we live on a farm and a ranch, and that tough decisions are made many times. And it is to protect people. And I'll tell you, the extremism of other people and how they have attacked me politically, I understand it. They're doing the same thing to me that they do to Donald Trump every day.
I described, I think accurately, how you wrote it up in the book. You didn't say the dog attacked people. You said it had tried to bite you. And I just wonder why you concluded that a young dog was untrainable and not just take it to a shelter.
This dog was a working dog, and it had come from a family that already had issues with this dog. And I had put months and months of training into this dog. This dog had gone to other trainers as well. So all of that is the facts of the story, and all of that shows that when you put someone in a position where they have to make a decision and they want to protect their family and protect children and other people from getting attacked from an animal that has attacked others and killed livestock, that's the choice I made over 20 years ago. And that I didn't ask somebody else to take that responsibility for me, that I had to make that decision myself.
So a lot of victimizing herself. They're doing to me what they did to Trump.
Andreas is like, her yoga with goats went bad. I'm sorry, Andreas, I could not. That was like the greatest comment. That's why I love you guys so much.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. This is just, why does she keep talking about killing animals?
Well, and she keeps killing them. We talked last week about the fact she put 3 horses down the same day.
Listen,
this is just a theme. It's a pattern.
Listen, listen, stuff happens on ranches, okay? I'm not saying that like this stuff doesn't ever happen on ranches where you have to put animals down. It does. But I feel like it happens a lot with her. And then she talks about it a lot. What is that?
Well, and it's the way she talks about it in the book, which is in very stark contrast to the way she's talking about it on these shows. So this reporter, I don't know what her name is, but she asked her, listen, you've been like, your name has been thrown around to be Trump's potential VP. And now there's a lot of people saying you have completely torched that idea altogether. And apparently there's a part in the book where she says, if she gets to the White House as a VP, one of the first things she would do is tell Commander, Joe Biden's dog, to meet Cricket. So she's already talking about bloodthirstiness for killing another dog.
She's gonna like put Commander down.
I mean,
I know.
It's kind of weird. So she gets called out by this reporter and she's basically said, are you just trying to come across in your book like a badass? Is that what you're doing here? And of course, that didn't play well.
On this point, though, because you have been rumored to be a potential vice presidential candidate, as you know, and former House Speaker Newt Gingrich said killing the dog and then writing about it ended any possibility of her being picked as VP. You talk multiple times about it. In fact, at the end of the book, you say the very first thing you would do if you got to the White House that was different from Joe Biden is you'd make sure Joe Biden's dog was nowhere on the grounds. Commander, say hello to Cricket. Are you doing this to try to look tough? Do you still think that you have a shot at being a VP?
Well, number one, Joe Biden's dog has attacked 24 Secret Service people. So how many people is enough people to be attacked and dangerously hurt before you make a decision on a dog and what to do with it?
Well, he's not living at the White House
That's
anymore.
a question that the president should be held accountable to.
You're saying he should be
shot? That's what the president should be accountable to, is what is the number? And I would say about Republicans criticizing me, these are the same Republicans that criticized me during COVID. They've criticized me when I've made other decisions in South Dakota to protect my state. And my state today is extremely happy and thriving.
Okay, so her comms team her PR team probably should have said, okay, this is how you handle this. Joe Biden had 3 dogs, not just Commander, but 2 other dogs that have been aggressive. That's, you spin it and then you say, listen, Joe Biden has 3 dogs that have been aggressive. Why do you think that is? It's not a dog problem. That's an owner problem. And that put the onus on Joe Biden. She's not handling any of this well. She's just not. And a lot of that has to do with her.
She can't say that when she's shot a dog.
I get it. But she's a politician. Politicians are great at the spin. She's not good at it. So she could have used this opportunity to turn it around and say, why does Joe Biden have 3 dogs that are aggressive? She didn't do it. Her PR team is just not good at helping her with this stuff. And she keeps shooting herself in the face is what she keeps doing with all of these ridiculous interviews that she keeps going on, and she's not doing herself any favor. She just keeps digging her own grave politically, and just more and more and more. And I don't know, do you have the clip about Kim Jong-un?
I'm about to talk about that right now.
Good Lord. Yeah.
It gets so much worse than the dog thing.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, and this isn't even getting nearly as much attention as the dog thing, but apparently there's a passage in her book where she talks about meeting Kim Jong-un and how she was she was a badass about that too. A whole passage. Now they call her out on it. This is probably one of the most uncomfortable interviews I've ever seen.
Totally.
She lied. She just flat out lied. She never met the guy. And she tries to say, well, when I was told that this passage was in the book, I immediately had it taken out. She freaking read the Audible version of this book. She knew very well that it was in there. And now she's basically admitted, oh yeah, somebody else wrote this book on my behalf. I didn't write it myself. I had a ghostwriter who now she's trying to throw under the bus for her lie. This is wow.
About meeting some world leaders, and one specific one, quote, I remember when I met with North Korean dictator Kim Jong-un, I'm sure he underestimated me, having no clue about my experience staring down little tyrants. I've been a children's pastor after all. Did you meet Kim Jong-un?
Well, as soon as this was brought to my attention, I certainly made some changes and looked at this passage. And I've met with many, many world leaders. I've traveled around the world. As soon as it was brought to my attention, we went forward and have made some edits. So I'm glad that this book is being released in a couple of days, and that those edits will be in place, and that people will have the updated version.
So you did not meet with Kim Jong-un. That's what you're saying.
I've met with many, many world leaders, I've traveled around the world. I think I've talked extensively in this book about my time serving in Congress, my time as governor, before governor, some of the travels that I've had. I'm not going to talk about my specific meetings with world leaders. I'm just not going to do that. This anecdote shouldn't have been in the book. And as soon as it was brought to my attention, I made sure that was adjusted. So.
Yeah.
What a bunch of bullshit.
Again, she needed to just say, I didn't meet with him. That was a grave error. And it's been corrected. That's what she needed to say. And her PR, again, it's like she just handled. And then she went on to say, I don't talk about meetings with world leaders. You did in your book. It's like, she's done. She's done politically. This is why? I mean, it's like, what? I'm so disappointed in this one.
It is a disappointment.
Because listen, things in South Dakota are pretty good. So, she's done, for all intents and purposes, she's done a pretty good job when it comes to running that state. But I'm very, very disappointed in her. So there's another one bites the dust. Yeah.
That's even worse. That's so much worse than even the dog thing, because she flat out lied. And the fact that she's trying to say, well, as soon as it was brought to my attention, girl, you read the Audible version with that passage in it.
Yeah.
And you ostensibly wrote it with a ghost writer helping you. She's basically trying to say, yeah, I didn't proofread it before it went to the first print.
It's
then
about
you're an idiot. It's like literally it's supposed to be written in your voice, your words.
Mm-hmm.
There's no coming back from that. And especially when you're asked a direct question, did you meet with him? And you're still going to try to dance. Worst thing she could have done. Worst.
Yeah. And like I said, really terrible PR team. I mean, you could have made, because listen, there have been people in politics that lie. I know all politicians lie. I know, I get it, but still, she could have maybe handled this a little bit better, and she didn't.
Oh my God.
And just sitting there stone faced and being like, I'm going to continue to dig my heels in and talk about killing animals and lying. Not doing her any favors.
Well, to be fair, the stone face is because she can't move her face.
That's right. She can't. That's true. There's so much shit injected in her face that she has no emotion left on it.
Maybe this will be a warning shot to other people who want to write books while they're still doing the jobs that makes them want to write books about.
Or just in general, people who get everybody uses a ghostwriter. I swear, I think we're the only people that wrote our own book, which is probably why it didn't sell. Because there's not a bunch of juicy stuff in there, right? We didn't write about killing dogs and meeting world leaders that we haven't met. I mean, this is the thing. It's like everybody in our industry uses ghostwriters. What is that? Write your own damn books.
Did she vet the ghostwriter? Did that person hate her guts? Like, what is going on?
I know, it's crazy. Like, I don't know how you can let a book go out about you that has so many things in it where you're not reading it, like,
right?
Or
you're just gonna if you read something that said when I met Kim Jong-un, wouldn't that be like, you would never just let that slide?
Oh my God,
right?
I would.
Like, what? How did you do that?
Freak out. I would completely freak out. I'd be like, this person is out to get me and ruin me, and this is I cannot, like, this. We have to do the whole, like, scratch the whole thing, stop everything, alert. This is unbelievable. We have to shut the whole thing down.
Mm-hmm. Deadline or
crazy.
what? I mean, I don't know. The whole thing is a disaster.
It is,
and it isn't even out yet. So, like, people are now either going to buy it because they're super curious, or they're just not going to buy it.
Yeah.
And man. What a mess. What a mess. Andrea Viola says, thank you. She says, Noem is a psychopath. We have enough psychos in DC. In her honest book, she left out her affair. Not so honest. Betcha Hillary is jealous. Noem is done. Yeah, there's that supposed affair with Corey Lewandowski. That was like a whole thing.
And I did it at the time. I was like, I didn't really believe that, but now I do.
Yeah, now I'm like questioning everything about her. And that's on her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's totally on her.
Right.
One funny thing before we get to your double D, and that is a video that we showed last week of two protesters, and I don't remember from which school, but they were basically those two spokespeople who were like, the whole capitalist system has to come down, colonialism, this, occupation, that.
Right.
Somebody, because they're masked up, obviously, somebody has created a voiceover of that.
So the main reason that we're protesting today has to do with the fact that nobody has ever invited us to any keggers on or off campus. We've never been invited to any parties. We've never even been looked at by any men. I mean, I used to be into men, but then I decided that it would be easier to be non-binary.
Right.
So these are the main reasons that we are against Israel. It is also really frustrating that many of the Jewish students at this school seem to have large friend groups and are able to meet people and have fun and have a good time. And we just see that as colonialism at play. So without colonialism, we would be able to level the playing field and make sure that students like us would be the center of attention as opposed to popular people.
They want to fit in. It's like I did put something on our Instagram page where Megyn Kelly said, "Have you noticed that they're all freaking ugly?" I mean, it's seriously. I mean, it's. I'm not. She wasn't trying to. She was just stating facts. She was spitting facts, y'all. And most of them are not very attractive. And because like attractive people are out there, like she said, being successful, living their lives. They're not like these people who are protesting, they want so badly, they yearn so badly to belong to something. It's like, because they're not belonging to anything else. So a lot of these vulnerable college kids are just like, well, I guess I'll do this, right? I don't know what it means, but I'll do it. And this is what they do. And they fall into these like encampments and with these protesters, and they're so void of critical thinking skills. And they're like, well, I'm an ugly liberal woman. I'm going to go ahead and do this because feminism, yay.
I hope they continue to wear the masks then so that there can be more voiceovers like that.
Yeah,
that was
fantastic.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. All right. It's time for your DD.
All right. I just saw this over the weekend. I thought it was really precious. I'm a little sad that these beautiful creatures are in captivity. I'm a little bit hippie when it comes to that. But beluga whales, I love them. They also call them sea canaries because they have like these high pitched vocalizations and everything, but, they're so sweet. They're like sea puppies and they're really lovely and gentle. And, I just love this whole compilation of beluga whales. Look how playful they are, you guys. They love people.
Do they, or are they like trying to be mean?
No, they're actually really, really sweet and gentle. I've read a lot about them. They're very gregarious.
Turn around. Turn around.
They're playful. Very, very playful. I mean, aren't they the sweetest?
What are you looking at?
I just love them so much. And I'm not an ocean person. I'm not carrying something. They're beautiful too. Oh, he's playing the violin for him. I mean, they're beautiful. Aren't they cute? I'm sorry, don't say puppy. I'm not allowed to say puppy. Why not?
Why?
It's my show. I'm going to say what I want. Don't tell me what to do, Randy.
Wait, why can't you say puppy?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Anyways, there's a lot of them in captivity. I actually read about, like, they say that there are now 38 beluga whales in captivity at 4 different locations in the United States and more than 300 in captivity worldwide, which makes me a little sad, but I guess you have to have some to study them, I suppose. I guess that's the reasoning. So. But they're cute. I know. I say, Eileen, I'm the same way. I'm like, set them free. Set them free. They're so cute. Anyways, I wanted to show that to you guys because they're cute.
All right. Well, it is time for us to discuss our schlong for the day. And it's hard to read, so I have it separately where I can read it, but it was blurry to begin with. So this was a story about a neighborhood where a woman lives with her young infant, and apparently this is a baby that cries a lot. So she gets this anonymous letter from her neighbors, which reads as follows: "Dear neighbor, I'm writing this on behalf of your neighbors and wanted to reach out to you regarding the noise level coming from your residence, particularly the crying of your baby. While we understand babies cry and a newborn can be tough, we can clearly hear everything from the early hours of the morning throughout the day and into the evening. The prolonged and frequent crying has disrupted your fellow neighbors. Some of us work from home and others are shift workers. We've tried closing our windows and doors and have even turned on appliances with the TV and radio, and the crying is still being heard. We value being good neighbors and respecting each other's space, but wanted to reach out and ask if it would be possible to close your rear doors and windows while the baby is feeling unsettled. We would appreciate your understanding and cooperation in this matter." So this went viral because there's so many mixed opinions about it. Like, some people thought, oh my God, that's so rude of these neighbors, like to send such a letter. And then other people were like, they're just asking if she can close her windows when there's a crying fit. That doesn't seem all that rude. So what do you think?
I agree with the latter. I mean,
Same.
I agree with the latter. I mean, if you live in a neighborhood, it's kind of like being in an HOA situation. You signed up for that. You're in a neighborhood. You need to be respectful of your neighbors. If your kid's wailing all night, close your freaking windows. Close your back door.
Hard.
I don't think it's hard either. Like, why would you have your back door and your windows open anyway? Is it like, can you put the central air on? Like, what? Like, I'm not really sure what's happening there. I feel like you should be respectful of your neighbors, because, you wouldn't like it if your neighbors were causing a ruckus and then waking your baby up. So that's part of an HOA. Listen, I hate HOAs. I hate them. That's why I live out in the country. And my take is that when you live in a neighborhood, it's part of the deal. That the fact that she refuses to close her windows, like when her baby is crying, is kind of weird. I mean, I like living in the middle of nowhere. I like not having an HOA. I like knowing that if I want to walk out naked and get into my pool, I can do that. That's why I live out in the country.
Careful of drones.
What? Totally careful with drones. They need to be careful of me, because they may not want to see that. I'm 52. I'm just saying, I've lived in neighborhoods and then I've lived out in the country, and I can tell you, I hate HOAs, but I know that if I lived in a situation where there was an HOA and I had some Karen telling me what to do, I would hate it, but I would follow the rules, because that's what you get when you live in a neighborhood. So this chick needs to follow the rules. Follow the rules.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't even, it's probably not a rule that she has to close her windows and doors when there's a baby crying. I can't imagine that's written in an HOA bylaw in any way.
Well,
but
this probably is
common courtesy. Like, this is not hard, and it shouldn't. I didn't think this letter was mean or rude or I mean, I thought it was like super understanding. Like, we're trying to be good neighbors here, but listen to all the things that we have tried to do to combat the disruption. Could you do your part and just shut your windows and doors? That's it. Like, they're not asking her to not have a baby, you know what I mean, or to move or whatever.
And it's stressful to have a crying baby. Like, we understand what it's like, because we're moms and we know that it sucks. Like, when your baby's crying and you're stressed and everything, we get it. But it's even more stressful. Maybe not more stressful, but it's equally as stressful when your neighbors are sick of you.
Right.
And there's, and then you've got a baby crying and your neighbors hate you. So it's like, I mean, it doesn't seem like it's that hard of a thing to do, to just close your door,
Yeah.
And I feel like that's an easy.
And I know me, like, if I were in a situation where I was in a house that was super close to other people and I had a screaming baby and I had my back door and windows open, the first thing I would do was shut those.
Yeah.
Because I'd be like, oh my God, this is probably so bothersome to people around me. Like, I would be thinking about that.
Me too.
And the fact that she wasn't is just dumb. Like, just do your part.
Yeah. Debbie asks, I want to know why the baby seems to be crying so much. Well, some babies are colicky.
Yeah.
Some babies just cry a lot. Like, I know out of the 3 kids that, like, one was a huge crier. The other 2 were not, that's just baby. That's how it's luck of the draw, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have babies that are just criers, and that you can't help it. And then, no matter how great of a mother you are, sometimes they just cry a lot. Sometimes they cry until they're 7 years old. I mean, that's just the way that they are. And then sometimes they don't. They're just not criers at all, So it is, a lot of times it's just luck of the draw, and you just got to do the work. And sometimes you're up all night with them and it sucks and it's stressful. And I feel for this mom, but she lives in a neighborhood. There are
Do you
other
think
people
that
around.
do you think it makes a difference in whether who, because usually these kinds of things get posted on Reddit with the question, am I the asshole? Right.
Yes. Uh-huh.
So does it make any difference at all in your mind what the fact that this was sent to her anonymously? Do you think that the neighbors should have said, here's who we are, here's our names. We're not embarrassed about putting our names to this letter, or do you think it's okay that it was left?
No, I think it was okay. And I honestly think that the letter was really not mean. I think it
wasn't.
I thought it was very respectful. They weren't being mean to her. They were just like, listen, can you just maybe do this? I didn't think it was mean at all. They could have been very malicious, and they weren't. They were just.
And now I feel like
asking.
since it's gone viral, now it's going to be a thing. Now there's going to be a war that when there didn't necessarily need to be a full-on war. Now it's going to be ugly. You know what I mean?
Because how was the mom feeling about it? Is the mom like, oh, hell no?
Yeah, well, she's the one that posted the letter, and can
she's
you
hell no.
believe that my neighbors are saying this to me? It was so mean, and I was like, I don't think it's that mean.
Get over it. Yeah, well, hopefully somebody will talk some sense into her and make her understand that this is not mean at all, and she's just
not.
Maybe she just needs to calm down and close the door and close the windows.
It's not hard, you guys.
Get over it. Yeah.
All right, it's time for some My Pillow talks, and I've got some good ones for you today. You know who we haven't heard in a long, long time is that creepy whisper guy.
Oh my gosh. It has been forever.
He's got a new one, and I just thought it was so funny and creepy and perfect. And go.
Can I tell you a secret? You promise not to tell?
Oh my God.
I know what the mom in your life wants for Mother's Day.
Oh God.
I'll give you one guess. You got it. It's me.
Okay.
Or at least a personalized greeting for me. And so, if that sounds interesting to you, then just click the link in my bio. And I'd be happy to put together a personalized greeting just for Mom, celebrating all her uniqueness. So, let me know.
Oh my God, my mom would crap if I sent that to her. She would seriously crap her pants if I sent that to her for Mother's Day.
Oh my God.
Dude with a big bow on his head. I can't. It's just so creepy.
Love that so much. This is the cat. This is the cat that you need. This cat right here.
Oh my God, I love him. I love him. I love him. He would fit right in, you guys.
He's
He
just
would
such a
fit
little
right into
vampire
my
cat.
house. He is a vampire. I love him.
And remember the chick that we played last week when she was like, hey, you guys, did you know that when somebody looks tired, you don't have to tell them?
Yes. Like
and then
today.
she was like, shut the fuck up. Remember? Apparently,
yeah.
She has a whole series.
Of all of them. Yeah.
When the meeting was just about to end and someone asked a question.
I've gotten stuff from my daughter-in-law from her, and it was like she was like, women back in the day when they said that we should start having jobs. Shut the fuck up. She sent one of those to me, and I was like, yeah. I think she was having a really bad day at work that day. Yeah.
I love that.
I know.
I love that.
She's really great.
Robin Zecca, thank you. Robin says Kristi Noem is a serial killer. Just look at how Dahmer got started, killing animals.
I'm going to let that one go.
What's his name? Emmanuel at Knuckle Bump Farms, really acting up when she was trying to show a Brahmin cow, which I thought you would appreciate. Totally wanted to steal the thunder. Look at this.
Come here. Come show them.
Oh my God.
Everybody thinks you and Humpty are the same type of cow. This is Emmanuel, do not do it. Emmanuel, don't do it. Emmanuel. Don't do it. I'm trying to educate people right now, okay? Can you just stop?
He's so cute. She needs to fatten that cow up. Our cows are so fat compared to hers. Oh my
Really?
God. Yeah. Oh my God. Are you serious? You guys have seen my cows. A lot of you have seen them.
Gosh.
I mean, they are rotund compared to hers.
This dog will get you. If you mess with the labo, you get the stabbo.
If I'm wrong, but I think I have the only dog in the world who does this trick. Okay, you ready? Duncan, bitches are talking shit.
Oh my
I'm
God.
wrong, but I think
I love that he does that in response to bitches are talking shit.
He grabs a knife. I love that dog. He's ready. He's ready to go. Ride or die. Love it.
Also, I have 2 different angles of the same video because it is so freaking hysterical of this dog eating. It's a lab versus a husky. And the angles are what makes it. This dog is the biggest spaz, you guys.
Oh my God. Oh my God. And then
It's just like, has that dog ever eaten ever? Ever?
Probably like 4 hours prior to that. That was the last time that dog ate. Labs, man. Labs.
Oh my God. So I had when I saw that there was a whole different angle of it, I was like, oh my God, we have to share both. We have to share both.
Oh my God, that dog. Look at him. I can't. He's like laying down. He can. I cannot stop laughing. Oh my God. He's like, I'm eating your food too, bitch. It's going in my belly.
Oh my God.
Oh
What
God.
dog?
That's hysterical. It's hysterical. Oh my God.
Remember the whole Kamala on the Drew Barrymore show and the fact that she calls herself Mamala?
Yes.
You guys, I did not know that was a slang word in Spanish, and it is so freaking perfect. Listen. Oh wait, I should probably turn it up.
That we really all need a tremendous hug in the world right now.
Yeah.
But in our country, we need you to be Mamala of the country.
I just saw that clip, and who's gonna tell them what that means in Spanish? For those of you who don't speak Spanish, mamala in Spanish means suck it, which is perfect for the Biden and Harris hashtag.
Oh my God. So
Biden hashtag mamala.
Thinking.
It's perfect.
Oh my God. So great. Suck it.
All right, then we have one prank and then one adorable animal thing. So we'll start with prank. So he's programming the wife's feet to go all the way forward.
Oh my God, that's so mean.
So mean.
That is so freaking mean. She's getting. My husband would do this to me.
Oh no!
He would totally.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
He would totally do this to me. That's so funny. Oh my God, it's so great.
I love that so much. Okay, and then to cap it off, I mean, are you joking? Look at this.
The monkey's feeding the rabbit. Is that what's happening?
And then it's like he wants to take little nibbles of the rabbit.
Is it?
He's like, I want to bite you. I want to eat your face.
Are they eating watermelon? What are they eating? I can't see it. Is that what that is?
Is that not the cutest?
Okay, it's pretty cute.
That
monkey
cute.
would rip your genitals off. You guys don't trust monkeys like that.
I just love them.
I know you do, but that's how you're gonna die. Like, don't. It's seriously, she's gonna die by monkey trying to rip her genitals off.
It's so cute, so cute. Oh, look who's there!
I know they came in. My husband didn't even bother to get him out of here. He's just like, I give up.
Well, bring it in and then get a dog.
Come here. Oh God. Oh my God. Okay.
Train him. There we go.
He just won't do it. And then he's eating Theo's head now. He puts Theo's whole head in his mouth. This is what he does.
Oh
Maybe
my
he'll.
God.
Can you He doesn't understand. Theo's just like, why are you blowing on me, Mom? What are you
He won't do
doing?
it. Okay, we'll bring it in because
bringing
you
it
didn't
in.
bring it in. I
Everybody
brought it
bring it in.
And I'm going to thank Shelly. Shelly, thank you. He says, keep all of our law enforcement in your prayers. Utah HB lost an officer yesterday, targeted and hit by an 18-wheeler driver. Oh my gosh, that's horrible. It's horrible.
It's awful.
Anyway,
you guys have Astrid's on the couch. She doesn't have time for this. She's lounging. I know you want Astrid. Maybe on Friday. Maybe I can get her fat butt to come in here. You guys have a fantastic Monday, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.